Tough game.
Yeah.
What did you make of it?
Yeah, definitely. In a lot of different ways, I think for the team, individuals, but also physical wise out there. We never had it our own way, obviously. Some things I'm really happy with for us to be able to come back on that 12, especially in that last quarter, is it's good for us, so we can take a lot out of that. But also probably on the opposite side, we choked up 9 goals in a row, so that's the opposite of that. So still a bit of learning to do, but these experiences that we get out here is the only way that we can.
Where did it sort of break down? Because it did look like there was a bit of isolation out there.
Yeah, I think that's probably quite a good word. We had a few different people out there at different times, and that always makes a difference to be able to get the combinations going. I think as well, when we've got a flaw in our strategy. If we don't do it, then it opens up like a bus can run through it. So that showed, but also I think as well the men played exceptionally well, and the ball speed that they had, and also the physicality on the body was probably another level up.
Gina, did it feel like they revved up physicality tonight?
Yeah, I think so, definitely, especially in our attacking third. I think that they came out with a lot of energy as well, and we didn't match that, especially when they get, even if it's just a little tock on it, and we weren't able to come up with the crumbs. So, we just need to be so much stronger when we're playing a team like that.
3 games in 3 days, was there a bit of fatigue?
We had a hard couple of days training before that as well, but that's the whole point, that our bodies are conditioned for it. The whole point of these series is that we're preparing for when we have tournaments like Commonwealth Games. So I think that people actually, did quite well, but maybe something that we can look at, yeah.
How do you find that, the balance between giving those new players the experience, but consolidating the combinations between the experienced players?
Yeah, it is actually a fine balance, and it's really hard to be able to be clear on it, and you sort of have to feel. One big thing is making sure that they do that they train really well and that they're ready. That's probably a big thing, but because we haven't had any camps as well coming into these series, we've got to make sure that we use these opportunities, and unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not too sure which way, you learn on the job. Usually if we had camp, we'll be able to see what they can and can't do prior to coming into series, and selections will always happen. So it's a rude awakening to some respect, but that's just how it goes. And once again, opportunities is this big word that we've been using, and you just got to take it when it's presented to you.
And not the result you would have hoped for tonight, but both Kelly and Karen have had a fantastic series, and you've still got Jane and Sue at home. How important is that for you to have that depth in the defence and the options?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. We know that we do have people to come in to strengthen that unit, which is a bonus for us. And actually for both series, they've ran really hard. And even though sort of at times the ball went over, but I don't think it was actually them, I thought they both did really well and fought right through to the end and got a lot of scraps. So they'll be pleased, I think, with that combination, and, just consolidating themselves as a strong unit.
Knowles, I might ask you a question. In the whole scheme of things, how much value do you think this particular series will have?
I'll answer it, and then G can answer what she thinks. I think it's really valuable. One that we don't know whether when we do actually get out on court and those opportunities, so that's huge. We are building towards the Commonwealth Games, so we need to be able to train together, work together, and then get court time. So with the difference of playing against England and also the men, there's variation in the style that they play, which will lead us hopefully into Commonwealth Games. So we're just working on stages on our overall plan. So this is stage 1, basically. Shows the growth that we need to make and the development, but also I feel we've made shifts as well from last week, and we'll just keep chugging away.
Yeah, I think definitely we've made strides in our strategy, like set plays and things like that as well, which has been really cool to see. And there's people that have played full 60 minutes for all 3 games, so that's going to be really important going forward.
Grace had her arm up quite a lot wanting the ball. Were some opportunities missed to feed her?
I think as well there was a lot of pressure that was on the ball or the ball carrier, and it sometimes if he didn't turn fully, then we actually missed it as well, and then just sort of depending where the other positioning of the other shooter was as well. I thought once again she stood up really strong for us underneath that post. These are the things that I think we're still working on. I think G mentioned it yesterday, just those finer points and the connections into the shooter, but we'll make sure that we'll just keep working on it.
Claire was really consistent through the series. Just seems like whenever there's a loose ball, she's there.
I thought she was awesome, very solid, both in wing defence and also when we moved to centre, and very consistent. I think actually I was really proud of what she did over this series, and was a trooper. She took some hard hits yesterday and, you know, just rolled around and got up, but I think, you know, this definitely was a good series for her.
Reliable, yeah.
I think this time last year you were talking about having to make some tough choices in that mid-court. Is it just even tougher now with the choices that you're going to eventually have to make in that mid-court?
Yeah, there are going to be some tough choices, and then it's just going to depend on what the makeup of the other groups are or the other units. I think in the mid-court has got some amazing players, and I think we even struggled to get the selections of the Silver Ferns and also the development squad as well. So unfortunately we can only take 12, which means these opportunities that are presented, like the likes of a Claire who's a true trooper, you know, you've got to put your best foot forward. So it's very fierce in regards to competition.
And where to now? Training, I think I heard you say a camp's coming up.
Yeah, so the players have a 5-week annual leave. Then I think there might be about 5 or 6 days or something, and then we'll go back into camp, five-day camp, hoping that the quad series is happening in January of next year, so that will be trials for quad series next year.
So they're trying to reschedule the Constellation Cup as this year is a no-go?
They haven't actually confirmed that at the moment, so we sort of work from, it's just sort of how it is nowadays. We just work from week to week, but we know pretty much where we are November, and if there is something, might be end of November, December. But hopefully we can get a bit more control and the players can have a wee bit of a rest before we go into the next stage.